Hello viewers, this is a continuation of the last video I made because my phone memory was getting full and I couldn't. I knew I could edit it anyway, but that aside, I want to talk about, I want to expand on the point I made towards the end of the video about fluency. I didn't touch it, I didn't properly say what was on my mind because my phone memory was full, was near almost full, and I just wanted to conclude the video. Fluency, I understand how fluency works. Fluency is an ever-receding goal. You can never attain fluency. The idea of being fluent in a language is relative, and to the best of my knowledge, it is a mirage. The closer you get to it, the more it recedes, and if you don't come to terms with that, you become frustrated, you become frustrated and angered, and you become dissatisfied with yourself, and you beat yourself unnecessarily, and you could even, if it is your first time with a language, abandon the language. But it's not the right way to go. Like I said, I learned this from French. When I learned how to speak French, there was never a time I was fluent in quotes in French. But there was a time I could express myself comfortably in French. I could dream in French. I could think in French. I could say pretty much anything in French, and I was comfortable in French. And that to me is fluency. I couldn't speak like those in French. I couldn't speak like those who have been speaking French since birth. They have always known better words than me, and I might have been able to match their level if I had stayed with French for a long time, for more years, but I didn't. So I understand how fluency works. I'm saying this because when I learn this language, as I'm learning this English language, I know deep down that I am not sure. I know. let me say it properly. I know deep down that it might not be very obvious that I am improving. To say, you might not see it might not be conspicuous. You might not see the big leap from where I was before to where I am now. But I guess you don't see that, number one, because you are not inside this body. I know how my English was in the past. I could speak English, but I knew the hesitation that was there before. I knew the hesitations while trying to make a sentence. I knew the lag, and I knew I had to think more. I had to be very conscious of myself then. But now that I'm into this language and I have come to terms with the fact that I need to work on my English, there are certain expressions, those expressions that constituted lag whenever I would speak in the past, because I didn't take my time to truly check if they were correct. As a consequence, when I speak in public, I tend to avoid them. While speaking in public, there are several routes to expressing yourself, and if you are going to, in quote, be fluent in a particular language, you should be comfortable exploring all the routes. And when you get into a particular route and you find that route difficult to traverse, you have an option. The first option you have is to go back and take another route, i.e. resaying what you have in mind with different set of words. You will be able to communicate your idea completely. Everybody will be able to understand you. But the downside is you just left a loophole in your linguistic tarmac. You've left a loophole on the road of your language. A day would come when you will still come through that road again, and you will meet the same problem, and you will see that loophole that you left. If you don't tackle it, you will be afraid of it. If you don't tackle it, that is what constitutes lag doing while speaking in public. So I'm saying that to say that I understand it might not be as I understand it might not be as evident that I am improving, but I know the loopholes I'm feeling. Even these sentences that I just made, I couldn't make them as efficiently as I just did here, because then I didn't properly know how to use would in English language. But now I know how to use would. Do I know how to use it perfectly? No, but it is a process, and I'm getting better with every sentence. I'm getting better with every sentence. I calm down to make sure that I say correctly with every sentence that I admit to myself that I don't know how to properly phrase, and then I calm down and ask my correspondents to help me. The good side of it is when I speak in public, and that sentence comes to, and I get to find myself on that road, I don't panic. I don't panic, because most times there are several components that prevent people from speaking comfortably in public, myself included. And one component amongst few, I don't think there are a lot of components to it, so one component amongst few is the fact that you are not sure of yourself. You are not sure of the sentences that you are going to let go from your mouth. There are, like I said, there are several roads to expressing an idea, and if you want to be comfortable speaking in public, you should explore all the roads to expressing a particular idea, so that if you ever find yourself in public and you find yourself in any particular road, you do not panic, because you know you've traversed this road before. It is a basic truth, and it has been working wonders for me. I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but I feel I need to buttress that point. So these days I have been feeling that loopholes, and I have been feeling those potholes in my linguistic tarmac, and I am comfortable. I'm more at ease while speaking in English, and it might not translate to immediate fluency, or immediate. It might not translate as rapidly as you, my viewer, or some other person might want into immediate increase in my speech, or immediate increase in the manner I speak, basically. But it's almost essential that if I continue on this path, the more comfortable I get, the more my speed will increase. The more my speed will increase. It's not as though I want to speak fast. I'm not a fan of speaking fast. I love speaking relaxedly. I don't know if that word exists, but I love speaking relaxedly, in a relaxed manner. So that's basically that. I'm improving. There's basically no need lying to myself. I am improving. The fact that I knew a word I didn't know yesterday is progress. It's progress. There is no other definition of progress than being better than who you were yesterday. And it might not. I'm learning a lot of words. The problem I'm facing now is that I'm learning so many words, so many expressions, so many words, that forcing them into my active vocabulary is just difficult, and forcing my brain to retain them is excruciating. And I'm not forcing my brain. I refuse to force my brain to retain them. Emphasis on force. I will do my best, and then I allow nature, which is the best way to learn. And I know this from French. There has to be friction. You have to actively force you have to actively try to incorporate these words. But when you do your best, allow nature to take its course. It's simple. If I'm not seeing any progress, if I'm not seeing any improvement, if the words are not, the words I would want to be in my active vocabulary are not there, it is because I am not repeating them as much as I should, and that is because I have longer words that I would love to put in my active vocabulary. So that is the battle I'm currently in. But there is no need. There is no need trying to beat myself up. That is the progress, and strategies change. I devised a lot of strategies. A lot of them work, some of them don't work, some of them don't work as efficiently as some others. But if I keep going at it, I keep devising, I keep changing the percentage of each strategy. One day I'm going to find the perfect set percentage that works. I think I'm really getting there. Like I say, it's as though it's a receding. It is just beyond my reach. The strategies I'm using are working, but the perfect strategy is just beyond my reach. But if I keep reshuffling the tools and the strategies that I have and changing their percentages, i.e., that is to say, changing the number of time I enforce each. Maybe I should speak more with correspondence, or speak more with correspondence than write, or maybe speak as much as I'm writing, and learn less of learn less of alliterations, something along that line. But if I keep there, the only way I can finally attain this perfect, the golden strategies to keep going at it and keep going at this language and keep pursuing the ever receding fluency, and in hopes that one day I'm going to have a better grasp. And I know that for a fact, because the further I delve into this world of improving my speech, the more I learn, the more I learn, and obviously the more I learn, the better I get, and the better I get, the more progress I see. That is how I translate that is how I see language. So yeah, I don't force fluency. I understand it's an ever receding goal, but it doesn't mean I will not keep pursuing it. I will keep pursuing it until the end of time, and that is why I'm a language enthusiast, my friend. Have a nice day.